Salutations. Thank you for being here once again. Today I would like to speak in regards to the UK government's inability to recruit sufficient numbers for their military services. To anyone who's even a casual observer of our cultures and societies, this should not come to as a surprise. Everything that is very normal, natural, and perfectly legal male behavior has been labeled toxic for a decade or more. Anyone growing up in this time period, say if you're only 20, 22 years of age, then you certainly have been told that all these natural things that you'd like to do, want to do, you should feel ashamed for it. And of course, many people do so and just do their best not to draw attention to themselves, or with every reason, they just ignore the critics and carry on with the things they enjoy because they know there's nothing wrong with it. But any government, if you're going to denigrate, insult, and talk down to a large group of people, you cannot expect them to be loyal. You cannot expect them willingly to sacrifice their lives, their time, and everything else for your government if you mistreat them, if you've raised them in an environment where they do not feel welcomed. And this is not something exclusive to the UK or English-speaking countries. At any point in time in human history, the people who are most likely to volunteer for military service are going to be young men with traditional ideals. Whatever the religion is of that country, that is something that appeals to them. Patriotism appeals to them. The want of achieving and having accomplishment and being given some level of recognition for their efforts is what draws them to military service. But in our present day, to make young men feel unwelcome and then expect them to sign up for the military is purely absurd. This will continue, and I do not blame them. They have every reason in the world not to want to serve under these particular conditions. Now, thinking that you can draft from outside of that demographic, we can look to the United States and their 4 years under President Biden. Under the 4 years under President Biden, they heavily tried to recruit LGBTQ+ and many others to fill their ranks. All the propaganda videos and commercials are still online to watch from that time period, and it did not work. Some did sign up to serve, but nowhere near enough to fill their ranks. They were under their recruitment numbers every single year. And within the first 3 months of President Trump taking office, all of their branches in the military returned to the numbers that they needed regarding proper recruitment. So that's a perfect example of who is willing to serve, and the people need to trust their leadership before they sign up for something where they could possibly die in taking that job. In a sense, it is a job, it is an occupation. If you would not want to work for a company that you're not welcomed at, it's the same thing with the military. So perhaps Western countries in general can take that as an example. You cannot continue to mistreat and insult men, especially young men, and expect them to serve in your military. It's only natural that you're not going to involve yourself with those who make you their enemy. All in all, I hope some resolution can come of this, but it will take years of a cultural change for young men to feel safe in military service, depending on which country they're living in. But that is all for this video. As always, to the speakers of the English tongue, I'm grateful for you to be here as an audience, and I am very happy that you are out there.